Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series, the most powerful AMG V8 series engine ever made, the most expressive design, the most complex aerodynamics, the most clever combination of materials, and the most unique driving dynamics. For the new Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series, the designers in Affalterbach pulled out all the stops in terms of vehicle design. The new super sports car brings together the brand's long history in motorsports and its many years of experience making cars that are amazing in every way. The result is a V8 engine with a flat crankshaft that puts out 537 kilowatts, 730 horsepower, along with active aerodynamics and a design based on the AMG GT3 racing car. Since 2006, Mercedes-AMG has been known for a very specific kind of car, one that is uncompromisingly sporty, has an expressive design, and uses the most technology from motorsports. Cars in the Black Series are very hard to find. Even though they were legal to drive on the road, they were made to go fast on racing tracks, not to sit in garages and collect dust. The AMG GT Black Series is the most powerful Mercedes-AMG with a V8 series engine, so it adds to this history. To show how the super sports car is changing, the engine engineers in Affalterbach have made the tried-and-true 4.0-liter bi-turbo unit even better. This is despite the fact that the 4.0-liter bi-turbo unit already had a great reputation for being easy to drive, delivering power well, and building torque quickly. The requirements were clear: a lot more power than the previous top-of-the-line AMG GT, a quicker throttle response, and the most torque possible. This called for a big change in the form of a new, flat crankshaft. Our most recent car highlight is the new GT Black Series, which continues a trend that began in 2006. The 6th edition of this kind is another big step for AMG and a great example of how great Affalterbach is at making cars. I'm happy with the team that made a one-of-a-kind super sports car that represents the top of our successful GT family. The GT Black Series has the best performance, looks, and driving dynamics. This project was a great way to end my time at AMG, and I'm thankful for that. Tobias Moores, the head of the Mercedes-AMG GmbH Board of Directors, says, "V8 engine designs differ. The arrangement of the cranks on the crankshaft is an important part of a V8 engine that designers can play around with. The way the engine works changes because of this. There are usually two types of V8 engines: the cross-plane, in which the crankpins of the 4 pairs of cylinders are at 90-degree angles to each other, and the flat crankshaft, in which all of the crankpins are on the same plane with a 180-degree offset. AMG has used the cross-plane in all of its previous V8 engines. If you look at a cross-plane crankshaft from the front, you can see the cross that gives it its name. When turning slowly, these crankshafts are very smooth and have a lot of torque. The sound of the cross-plane V8 engine is another thing that makes it stand out. AMG engineers put the exhaust side of the 4.0-liter V8 bi-turbo engine into the hot internal V of the 2-cylinder banks. This made the most of the engine's displacement and, by extension, its performance potential. Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series engine. Another way to improve performance is to use a flat crankshaft. The flat-plane V8 engine looks like an inline 4-cylinder engine, except that the crankpins are bigger and have 2 connecting rods each. The ignition of the flat-plane V8 jumps from one bank of cylinders to the next. This makes the gas cycle even longer. When the crankshaft is off by 180 degrees, the usual firing order is 1827, 4536. This makes the gas columns in the exhaust and intake systems move in the same way. The resonance of these columns can be easily used to improve performance. Even better is that the throttle response is faster. The outside of a Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series. The new engine for the GT Black Series is based on the AMG 4.0-liter V8 bi-turbo engine with dry sump lubrication. But it has been changed in several ways, so it now has the internal code M178LS2. It makes 537 kilowatts, 730 horsepower, between 6,700 and 6,900 revolutions per minute and 800 Newton-meter between 2,000 and 6,000 revolutions per minute. With the new firing order, new camshafts and exhaust manifolds are made to improve the gas cycle. Both of the dual-scroll exhaust turbochargers are mounted on anti-friction bearings, just like the top-of-the-line AMG GT Coupe with 4 doors, which makes the throttle response even better. The Black Series turbochargers, on the other hand, have a bigger compressor wheel that lets them put out 1,100 kilograms of air per hour. The AMG GT3, on the other hand, can go as fast as 900 kilometers per hour. As a steady speed, 7,000 revolutions per minute doesn't mean much, but the speed can't go above 7,200 revolutions per minute. And the bigger intercoolers make sure that the temperature of the charged air stays within the widest range possible. The fact that the engine symbol is still black shows that the new engine is special. What does the engine do with the AMG GT Black Series? It gives it a personality that is all its own, which you can see in the way it delivers power and in the way it sounds. It also makes for a very good driving experience. The two-door car can go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.2 seconds and from 100 to 200 kilometers per hour in less than 9 seconds. The fastest it can go is 325 kilometers per hour, but that's only useful on closed-off racetracks. The 7-speed AMG SpeedShift DCT-7G dual-clutch transmission sends power to the back wheels. It is placed on the back axle in a transaxle configuration for the best weight distribution. It has been changed so that it can be used in the AMG GT Black Series. It can now produce 800 Newton-meter of torque. The limits on the previous shift's performance and response time have been increased, which makes them better for racetracks. This changes how the car drives. The engine, transmission, drive programs, and gear changes all work faster. Race Start Now has a higher starting revolutions per minute, a wheel slip control that is more sensitive, and sports tires that are ready for the track. Transmission cooling and ratios have been changed to meet stricter standards. Torque tube connects engine and transmission. At 13.9 kilograms, it's 40% lighter than the AMG GT's aluminum cousin, which was already light. It is part of the transaxle drivetrain and connects the engine and transmission in a strong way. It connects directly to the car's drivetrain, making it easier to drive and spreading the car's weight evenly. The driving shaft made of carbon fiber turns from the inside out. Aerodynamics have come a long way, making fast-track driving more stable and exciting. Just like with the AMG GT3 and AMG GT3 Pro, aerodynamics experts and designers work together on the Black Series. Function follows form is more true than ever. More than before, the cars look like AMG GT3 and AMG GT4 race cars. All of this starts with letting more air into the radiator. It looks like the AMG GT3s. Since the wheel arch coolers now get air from the center inlet, the radiator trim has dark chrome vertical struts. This means that the 2 air holes in the front apron are not needed. Flicks in the shape of a sickle add more force to the front axle and keep the brakes cool. Air curtains send air to the wheels. Along with the wheel flicks, this reduces drag and makes the car go faster. The new design brings together cool air, less air resistance, and more downforce in the front. The carbon fiber splitter in front has settings for street and race. You can only use race at a racetrack. Different tracks can be set up for it. When the front part is moved forward to race, it makes a front diffuser with a backwards wing. As the car speeds up, negative pressure builds up, which speeds up the flow of air through the underbody. This is called the Venturi effect, and it pulls the car closer to the road and gives the front axle more downforce. Steering may benefit. When going fast around curves, the Black Series is more stable and turns more precisely. During fast turns and strong sideways acceleration, the car responds quickly and clearly through the steering wheel while still being easy to control. When the front diffuser is set to race, the rear aerofoil can increase the downforce on the back axle. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe to this channel.